Okay, let's talk about a question that sounds like it's pulled right out of a sci-fi movie, but come on, a lot of us have probably wondered about it. With all our trash piling up here on Earth, why can't we just shoot it into the sun? I mean, on the surface, it sounds like the perfect solution, doesn't it? Just think about it for a second. We have this huge growing waste problem right here on our planet. What if we could just, poof, make it all disappear? For good. No more landfills overflowing, no more plastics choking the oceans, just a clean slate. It's a really, really appealing thought. And the idea itself seems so beautifully simple. You just pack up all our garbage, stick it on a rocket, and aim it for the biggest, baddest incinerator in the solar system. Problem solved, right? Well, as we're about to find out, this simple, elegant idea runs smack into a brick wall called physics, and a whole bunch of really bad potential consequences. But first, let's dig into why this idea feels so right, why it's so tempting to begin with. And at first glance, it makes total sense. The sun is just this giant natural furnace. It's so ridiculously hot, it would vaporize absolutely anything we could ever throw at it. It feels clean, it feels final, it feels efficient. Like we're just using the massive cosmic garbage disposal that's already sitting right there in our own backyard. Right, but this is where that simple idea starts to get complicated. We're about to run into some serious hurdles, and they have to do with logistics, money, and most importantly, the fundamental laws of how the universe actually works. First off, let's just talk about the sheer scale of the problem. Every single year, humanity produces over 2 billion metric tons of municipal solid waste. That's not a mountain of trash, that is an entire mountain range of trash that we would have to lift out of Earth's gravity year after year after year. So, just to keep up, we would need to be launching thousands of rockets every single day. The sky would just be a constant conveyor belt of garbage trucks heading for space. And the cost? We're talking quadrillions of dollars. It's a number so huge it's almost meaningless. It is a logistical and financial nightmare. But here is the truly fascinating part. Even if we had unlimited money and fleets of thousands of rockets ready to go, the hardest part isn't actually lifting all that trash. The real problem is hitting the sun. This number right here, this is the whole problem. 30 kilometers per second. That's around 67,000 miles per hour. That is the incredible speed that our planet, Earth, is constantly moving sideways as it orbits the sun. You see, you can't just point a rocket at the sun and fire. Anything we launch from Earth is already carrying that enormous sideways momentum with it. So if you launch it, instead of falling straight into the sun, it would just go into its own orbit, basically becoming a new, tiny planet made entirely of garbage. So, to actually get something to fall into the sun, you have to do something that feels completely wrong. Once you get your trash into space, you have to turn the rocket around and fire its engines at full power in the opposite direction of Earth's orbit. You're basically slamming on the brakes in a car that's going 67,000 miles per hour, just to cancel out all that sideways speed so the garbage can finally start falling inward. And this gets us to the craziest part of all. It actually takes way more energy, way more fuel to slow down and fall into the sun than it does to speed up and fly all the way out to Mars, or even Jupiter. So, paradoxically, the closest, biggest thing in our solar system is one of the hardest places to get to. Okay, but let's play a game. Let's pretend we could somehow wave a magic wand and solve the physics and the cost. Even then, should we actually do it? This is where the whole plan goes from being just impractical to being genuinely terrifying. So yeah, what are the risks of turning our sky into a highway for cosmic trash collection? Well, the list is pretty long, and pretty much everything on it is a recipe for disaster. First, launch failures. We know rockets sometimes explode. Now, imagine one exploding that's full of toxic waste, spreading that stuff all over the globe. Then there's the pollution from thousands of launches a day, pumping exhaust into the upper atmosphere. And every launch creates more space junk, turning Earth's orbit into a minefield. And if you miscalculate, that garbage doesn't hit the sun. It just ends up in a weird orbit, maybe even coming back to crash on Earth years later. In that orbital debris problem, that could lead to something called the Kessler syndrome. This is basically a nightmare scenario where there's so much gunk up there that one collision sets off an unstoppable chain reaction. One crash creates more debris, which causes more crashes, and so on, until low Earth orbit is so full of shrapnel that we can't launch anything. We'd literally be trapped on our own planet. So, beyond all the physics and the catastrophic risks, there's actually another layer to this. It's a bigger, more fundamental question about ethics and law, and what our responsibility is as a species. This phrase, it's a powerful one. It comes from the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, which is pretty much the foundation of all space law. And what it says is that space, including the sun, the moon, all of it, belongs to everybody. It's a shared global commons. So deciding to use it as our own private dump, that would violate the entire spirit of that agreement. And really, that's the core of it. This idea of just shipping our problems somewhere else, it's not a solution. It's avoidance. It's the ultimate out of sight, out of mind way of thinking. It's treating our waste as something to be hidden instead of something to be managed. It's basically giving up on our responsibility to the one planet we actually live on. So if launching our garbage into space is a dangerous and irresponsible fantasy, where do the real solutions actually lie? The answer isn't out there. It's right here, on the ground. Instead of pouring trillions of dollars into a crazy scheme to avoid the problem, we could invest that into solving it at the source. And that requires a huge shift in how we think. We have to stop seeing waste as garbage and start seeing it as a valuable resource that's just in the wrong place. And the opportunity here is just immense. Right now, on a global scale, we recycle less than 20% of our waste. That means over 80% is just sitting there, an untapped resource. Think about it. The energy we'd waste firing rockets at the sun could power entire recycling industries right here at home. And the best part is, we already have the solutions. This isn't science fiction. We're talking about advanced recycling tech, building circular economies where things are designed to be reused from day one, converting waste to energy, and making things biodegradable. These are the real answers, and they're achievable right now. So in the end, that whole dream of a solar garbage chute, it tells us a lot more about ourselves, about our desire for a quick, easy fix, than it does about real problem solving. It really forces us to ask a much bigger question. Are we going to keep looking for farther and farther places to hide our problems? Or are we finally ready to look down at what's right in front of us and figure out how to turn our own waste into our wealth?